All right. The people have been asking for it. We're back. What's poppin'? We got the last week of the mini season. We are getting ready for the draft. I'm hyped. And we're just going to kick it right off and go into the OU game this week. Okay, so the sprites got updated. I'm seeing this now. Great Tusk has never looked that ugly, right? Like, these look different. I don't know. These look different to me. Something's going on. All right. Anyway, yeah. So MJC's using Ty's team from last week, and that's kind of a pain in the ass to my team. I just threw on Pincurchin and took 5 Paradox Pokemon that all boosted in Electric Terrain, and said, "Fuck it, we're gonna roll." So yeah, I lead off Iron Valiant because I wanted to lead something that would prevent like an Orthworm. I thought he would have just hard switched out, so I went for the Shadow Ball there. He could have got a free Shed Tail off, and that would have put me pretty far behind. We see Assault Vest Tusk only taking 29, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to sack Pincurchin. I don't really care about the speed raise or anything, because I'm also getting a speed raise, and I made a risky switch, but felt pretty safe that he wasn't going to go for the fighting move into the Electric type, and knock out the Tusky boy. All right, so I go into my Iron Hands on his Iron Hands. We're both Quark Drived up. He gets the burn, which is a little bit of a pain in the butt, if we're going to be honest. I'm like, right, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot to you, so I'm going to get out of here and get my leaves in. Really, I just need to figure out how to break this guy. And I forgot he was Terra Normal. I forgot completely. I talked to Ty afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I made it Terra Normal and couldn't really remember why. So, yeah. Well, it worked out. Thankfully, I can connect my Focus Blast and keep it moving. At this point, Roaring Moon is a problem. I'm running Hyper Offense, so I don't actually have a switch into this. And that, oh yeah, that turn. Why did I stand? I don't know. I actually forgot Speed Tiers for a second. I straight up thought that I was still faster than Roaring Moon, and clearly I wasn't. Alright, so I put the Memento down. That way I can get my treads in, get rid of these rocks. I know I obviously can't go for a ground move into Orthworm. Pretty safe switch on his end, though. The knockoff did enough damage to prevent a Shed Tail, and that's all I cared about. I just did not want him passing a Shed Tail out. So I get my late game rocks up here. And I'm just getting a little bit of chip on this guy. The idea right now is that Iron Jugulus can probably clean. And then I still have a 40% Iron Hands in the back. So I get my speed boost up. I know I'm faster than everything on his team after this. And he already Terra'd, so I can just attack freely. He's stalling out terrain turns so he can be faster with his Roaring Moon at the end. And I'm like, alright. So there were like 2 options here. It was either Iron Jugulus could actually live a hit, and I try to like save it, but huge booster energy, he can just switch up moves anyway. It doesn't really make sense, so I'm just going to stay in here and try to get... Yeah. So I'm just trying to get some chip here. I went for the Dark Pulse. Yeah, oh yeah, am I Specs? I might be Specs. Yeah. But yeah, that cleaned up the other stuff, so I had to lock into that. And I get crit on the last turn of the game. +1 acro was going to do 37% max. I'm obviously at 40%. And it's a fair and balanced game. GG's. Cut with the music. Get me out of there. Get me out of there. GG, Matt. That was a fun game, though. I recommend watching these games like organically on your own, not just with the breakdowns too, to see if there's maybe a set or some sort of combo of Pokemon that you might be interested in drafting. You know, the essence of the mini season was so that we all can get acclimated to the new gen, learn how terrestrialization works, see stuff perform in its actual tier. That way you get a good value of where it's at in the draft pool. And, you know, at the end of the day, you want to be able to build the best team possible. So start kind of plugging things together, see what you want to work with. Yeah, so I just recommend watching these kind of on your own as well as the breakdowns. Hopefully I'm giving a little bit insight. So Dodge is running the team I ran versus Graham last week. We're seeing a creative theme out of Team Dodge. And Bulky Mama is in. 33%. Screamtail is not strong. Damn. +1 Guts boosted Facade doing 81%. Dodge changed up a couple items and sets on this team. Like Sash on Glade. The defensive Terra on Hariyama is super sick. Being able to secure another kill. I mean, Screamtail's basically dead at this point. I don't know if that crit mattered. Probably didn't. Just a little insult to injury. Somehow Dazzling Gleam did 6% though. That's shocking. Mouse hold with the pop bomb into a resisted Iron Thorns. And I'm just going to skip that. It hit 10 times. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Right. Tinkaton and Tinkatuff have been like decent status absorbers through the mini season. Switch in on whatever. Whoa, yeah, hold on. We see the Hyper Beam. Iron Hugulus. What a beast. He actually pulled out the Hugulus beam. And Knuckle Stack just doing Knuckle Stack stuff, living a crit Earth Power. Because why not? And that's huge. Getting the Salt Cure on Gastrodon basically cleared the game at this point. Like, Brute Bonnet's the only true offense Dodge had. And then putting Gastrodon into range from Salt Cure basically meant that the Hugulus Beam could just Hurricane. And we get the taunted encore at the end. Yeah, Iron Hugulus. I keep calling it Hugulus. It's Iron Jugulus. It's been putting in work this mini season, top of the kill leaderboards. You know, it's a GOAT for a reason. Not actually too great of a mon, but it's been performing, so we're good with that. All right, we got Berg and Graham. Trying to remember how the. Oh yeah, okay. I see the concepts now. I like Graham's team a lot. I'm going to talk about it for a sec. I think, like, showing off Sableye, Cryogonal, Arboliva, and Dragalge in RU is cool. Everything but Toxtricity. No, Toxtricity I think was on Cordell's team. Yeah. I don't know if Blissey made an appearance yet, but Berg with a relatively, like, standard team. I think almost all of these will probably get drafted. Maybe no Blissey because we're not playing like that, but I don't know. Somebody might get that inclination to get Blissey or Chansey, but either way, standard RU team, and then Graham's using some cool stuff, so I really like that because you actually get to have a sense of like what you want to draft, maybe some of the stuff you're interested in picking up and you just want to play around with it and see how it works. So big fan of that. I like Rest Dragalge as well. I think Rest Talk Dragalge is risky because generally you want to use like a poison type attacking move with it. And I'm pretty sure that's what he has. So yeah, if Berg had a steel type, you know, he could just go into that Terra into a steel type even. I was thinking on this turn though, instead of just taking out the Dragalge, he could have just went into Toxtricity because he would have absorbed the T-Spikes without the need to Rapid Spin in case there was like a Scarf Gardevoir coming in. To potentially pick this up with like a Psychic, because you can't safely switch your own Toxtricity in at that point, and the T-Spikes are still staying up until you can get it in. Yeah, so I probably would have just Rapid Spun or went into Toxtricity before getting rid of the Dragalge, since you're faster than it. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Arboliva sets up the grassy terrain with the Seed Sower and is able to pick up the kill. But T-Spikes are out. It didn't really matter anyway because Toxtricity was coming in next. And the Terra Normal there was in case he went for an Earth Power. Be able to live that pretty easily, get the Shift Gear up, and then, you know, Boom Burst off of Throat Spray is going to 2-hit KO everything. This is such a cool Toxtricity set. You can only run Shift Gear if you're in this amped up form. It has like another like low key form that learns Venoshock instead of Shift Gear. So if you do draft Toxtricity, it is generally like the better, like the optimal thing is just to run this form, which is the cooler looking one anyway. You'd probably want to do it regardless. But if you run the low key form, your opponent will know that you can't Shift Gear. And Shift Gear is way more threatening than a Venoshock. So just run this. Even if you're just running Specs without Shift Gear, just run this form of Toxtricity. Just for a little competitive advantage. But yeah, I mean, Specs essentially from the Throat Spray. But the ability to switch up moves. I mean, just a really cool set. This is actually a really cool Terror Captain. It's at 10 points for a reason. I definitely see this bad boy going somewhere. All right. Oh, yeah. God, this game gave me AIDS. Okay, let's do it. Let's get it over with. We see the boy, Spidops, the legend. Getting the webs up for the boys. Beartic, we see it's not boots because it got lowered speed. Still hits like a truck. All right. Boots Frostmoth is into play. Behind Veil, Inhale. Ice Scales, Bars. Alright, so this is just ugly. They're just going to go back and forth. But what we notice is Joe's Frostmoth has leftovers, not heavy-duty boots. And that actually means he's going to win this 1v1 because E doesn't really have anything he can do to this. We're going to see he's throwing off Giga Drains to try to get his health back. Joe doesn't really need to run Giga Drain, or attack with Giga Drain into this. Yeah, he can end up taking it out. He's going to be faster than everything. He just needs to be outside of Aqua Jet range from like a Banded Bruxish at the end of this exchange, which shouldn't be too hard. Like, you know, you got leftovers recovering all this, and with Bug Buzz, you're lowering their Spadef a couple times, getting some lucky drops, doing a ton of damage. Probably finish it. I would have finished that off with Giga Drain at that point because we know it would have done 13%, but that was just the optimal thing. Okay. So E goes into Abomasnow because he's sashed and he's able to get the Veil up. So really, really great play. Game-saving play. And he goes into Bombardier. Bombardier, flying and dark type. We see Frostmoth has Giga Drain and Bug Buzz. Not trying to flame Joe too much, but let's play a game at home. Who's gonna or what move do you click? I'm clicking Bug Buzz, because it's neutral. I'm at +6. That's killing through Veil. And Joe goes for the Giga Drain and dies to Rock Blast 2 hits. I mean, I thought Joe was throwing on purpose. I know, like, hindsight, he didn't know Bombardier got rock coverage. Bombardier has an ability called Rocky Payload that basically adds Rock Stab to its like attacking arsenal and everything. It's still flying dark type, but it gets a 50% boost on rock moves. And with that, it gets like Rock Blast, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Stealth Rock, stuff like that. So it's essentially a rock type without the weaknesses of being a rock type. So he loses his +6 rock Frostmoth, which basically won the game, and then went into a grass type on a flying type. Yeah. You just go Jolteon on it. Don't even think about it. You just go Jolteon. E went for the Rock Blast there. I don't know if he was actually banded or stuck in it. I guess we'll see. I don't remember the game too deep. Yeah, no, he wasn't even banded. He could just Brave Bird the first time. Oh, yeah, he misclicked. That was it. My bad. Yeah, so Joe just sacked Appleton for seeds and a little bit of damage on Bombardier, when he could have just went into Jolteon the whole time. So just it's good practice. You know, it's mini season, doesn't actually matter for anything, but you guys just be mindful of your win cons. If you have a 6-0 available, go ahead and take it. No need to make it spicy. And we see the Contrary Leaf Storm. Love that Lurantis set. Some good stuff. That was interesting going for the U-turn there. He threw a wish up with Dockspun and could have had it land on Bombardier, but decided to switch out, and the wish basically got wasted. And Spidops being actually decently bulky, and Joe still being up in sacks. Yeah, just it's going to end up winning the game for him. Bruxish getting the SD up, being able to OCO basically everything, but yeah, so Joe misplayed there again. He has first impression on Spidops. That's going to OCO Bruxish. Actually, has E Terra'd yet? Okay. Maybe go Jolteon to bait the Terra first. It's probably Terra Water. I don't know if he ends up Terraing. No, he doesn't. Yeah, so if E had something that had a Terra, like if he had a Terra on Bruxish that wasn't Psychic, potentially he lives first impression, because Spidops isn't strong. I can't remember. I don't think he Terra'd. Yeah, maybe he did with the... No, it was just Poison Dockspun. Oh, he Terra iced on Beartic. Okay, I gotcha. All right, yeah, so... At this point, Spidops wins. Yep, and if E roosted there, it would have been close. I don't know if Bombardier's living at... I don't know, it would have been at like 70%. 75 maybe. Yeah, it might live first impression. E probably still had a chance to win there. It was a 50-50 on whether or not Spidops switched out. So, like, I get it. But yeah, roosting on the switch. Well, and you were faster anyway. I don't really know what Spidops could have done to you, even if you did roost and you stayed in. So yeah, just throws all around. Total mess of a game. But you know, Joe somehow clawed back into it after that Frostmoth incident. So yeah, that's it for the mini season though. Appreciate you guys for playing all that and getting your games in and everything. Draft is on Saturday. Right now we're planning on 3 o'clock. I'm gonna stream it. I don't know if I'm doing it on YouTube or Twitch yet, but we'll figure that out. That way it's a little easier just to upload afterwards. And then Ty and I are gonna do a draft breakdown, potentially Sunday, but that's TBD. Got a little bit of a busy weekend, so yeah. Anyway, catch you guys in the Discord. Thanks for playing, and let's get season 4 rolling. Peace.